Okay, so good. The first thing that we did was we rolled a slab and made sure that it was even thickness. The second thing that we did was we took our templates and you placed your template on top of the slab that was of even thickness. You take a ruler and you're gonna go ahead and cut out the templates. So we have one rectangle of clay and one circle of clay. And then we also have a piece that is going to be used for the handle. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to bevel the edges so that they stick together nicely and they don't overlap and make a bump, right? So I'm going to take this tool, it could be a needle tool, it could be a paper clip, whatever it is you use. You're going to go in about 1/2 inch to 1 inch and you're going to hold it at an angle, and when you slice through the clay you're going to slice at an angle. Get like close to this. So you're going to slice it through at an angle like that, and then the other side you might have to go through twice. The other side you want to be parallel to this side. So in order to do that easily is I'm just going to flip it over like that, and I'm going to do the same thing on this side right here. Okay, then what I'm going to do is take my scoring tool and I'm going to score the beveled edges here, and then flip it over and score it here. And then I'm going to score the bottom of it, like this surface right here. And then I'm going to score the bottom of the circle on the edge, just the outside edge is all I really need to do, like that. I'm going to put a generous amount of slip onto the scored areas. And I'm going to take my slab and I'm going to go ahead and go around the circle like this. And then I'm going to place it here. Push down, and you want to take your finger, and one thing that sometimes kids do that is kind of a big mistake is that they want to stick their hands in the slip and make it nice and smooth on the outside edge, but that's not really prudent. What you should do is just use your thumb. If it gets a little bit dry, you can go ahead and dip it in water, but just go ahead and use your thumb to press things together and to make them really nice and really even, okay? And then you want to make sure that there's no grooves or anything like this, and if there is, just take a piece of wet clay and roll a coil and add it into the groove like that, and then bring it up and use your circle on the top to make sure that this is nice and round. And then you might want to take your wet fingers and just go around the edges like this to make sure that, because this is your first functional piece of pottery, you're going to make sure that these edges are not square, but instead they're round. And it's really important, and you're gonna go through the whole thing and take your time making sure that the cup is nice and smooth and nice and even. Then I'm going to show you how to put a handle on the cup. So we've rolled a slab like this, and I'm going to take a sponge and I'm going to make sure that it's nice and smooth around the edge, because this is where your hand is going to actually handle the clay. Okay, and this is the proper way to make a handle. You're going to take this, I always do it like on the seam so I can kind of cover up the seam, but I'm going to go down about a ½ an inch right here from the top, and I'm going to score this right here, and then I'm going to score this part right here on the edge. I'm going to add a generous amount of slip to it like this, and then I'm going to actually take it and put it so it's facing straight up right there. Squeeze it from the inside, and then I'm going to take my 2 fingers, wrap it around. I'm going to score it right down here at the very bottom, and then I'm going to score the inside of this. Add a generous amount of slip again. Take my 2 fingers and press that in right there. And then if it's big and you have a tail like this, you can either keep the tail, something like that, but don't let it touch the ground. Bring it up and maybe score and slip it if you want it to be like a round circle like this, or just cut it off. But never let it go lower than the bottom of the cup, because it will break off. So you can either do this or do something creative with it. And then take your time to go ahead and smooth the cup up all the way around. And another idea, good idea to reinforce the inside, is to roll a really skinny coil and lay that coil on the inside seam of the cup. And make sure you put your name on it, and then you're going to be doing your slip sgraffito in the next video. Thank you.